The next part of the face we're going to detail is the nose. So let's go ahead and open up the file that we just created, where we worked on the eyes, and I have that as SplineHead 09. And let's take a look at that. Oh, I still have the eyeball going through there, but we'll go ahead and fix that later. Let's concentrate on the nose. As you can see, the nose is kind of just a nice looking protrusion. It's not really a real nose. We need to do a couple of things. First of all, we need to give it a better profile from left to right. Usually there's a crease right about here where the nostril kind of runs into the cheek. We also have to create nostrils, and probably a little bit more detail is called for in here so we can sculpt the nose a little bit better. So we have to add some detail. Now remember, on the body we added detail by cutting edges. I think this is a good way to do it on this character as well. So what we need to do is cut some edges this way, vertically, along the ridge of the nose, and probably even along the top of the nose here. So that way we can sculpt out the nose that the character needs. So in order to cut edges, we've done this once before. Go over to our Modify panel. I'm going to go to Edge. And in order to do Cut, you come down here and do Cut. But what I want to do is turn on Snap. And I'm going to right-click on this and make sure that I have Vertex and Midpoint Snap checked. And then activate that. Now I'm going to start pretty high up on the forehead here, because I'm going to create a little bit of a triangle here, so I don't want to have the detail in an area of the face that's actually going to be animated. So I'm going to start at this midpoint, drag over to there, and there I created a triangle, but that's probably out of the way, and so it's not going to be that big of a deal. And then I'm just going to split all of these edges as we come down the side of the nose. So now I've created a lot of extra detail there. But it kind of dead ends here, and I really don't want it to. But I have to make a decision here. How do I continue this edge along and then come back up this side? Now some people, they'll just continue this edge all the way down to the top of the lip, and that way it kind of dead ends there, and it's quads all the way down. But that's a lot of extra detail on the lip that I don't want to animate, particularly during lip sync. You could run it to either one of these points, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop it around, and I'll show you a little trick here. I'll loop it around, and we'll bring it back up this side, this row of edges, and then we'll get rid of the triangles that we create. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one in half, and then go across to this side here. And now you can see I've created a triangle here. I'm going to take this, go to here, oops. Start there, go to there, and then just walk my way back up the nose. And again, right there, I'm going to create a triangle. So there. Now this is pretty much out of the way of the major definition of the face, so I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem there. And actually this here, because it is actually a quad, so I only have triangles here and here. Now I can do the same thing here, as I can actually create a quad here by getting rid of this particular edge. I'm going to turn off there, and I'm going to deactivate cut, and I'm going to select this edge, and I'm just going to delete it. Now that does create a hole, but it's a four-sided hole, so actually I'll have a little bit of a quad here. So all I have to do is go down to Polygon, and let's create a polygon. So I'm going to go down here to Edit Geometry, Create, start there, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and now I have a polygon. Now go to my vertices here, and I can sculpt that however I want. I can sculpt that up, and We can sculpt this out however we want, but it's a much better solution. And as we put in the nostrils, you'll see this will pretty much disappear. So now I've got lots of extra detail on that nose. Let's put that detail to good use. First thing I want to do is model that crease on the side of the nose. So I'm going to go to Vertex. In fact, I'm going to turn on Mesh Smooth at this point. It's going to be hard to find the vertices because we want to get the vertices on the cage, not the ones actually on the surface. Those can get confusing at times. I'm going to take this out. In fact, here, let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm creating basically kind of a concave spot there, which is going to be my crease in the nose, or at least enough of a crease in the nose. Now, if I want, I can go into Mesh Smooth and actually amp up the weight of these vertices, and that will help a lot. In fact, I could do that here if I wanted to. Here's the weight. And that could give me a better crease. I'm not going to do that right now, though, because I've got some more detail here I want to push around. So I want to put that there. And this probably has to come out a little bit there. So as you can see, I'm just creating a little bit of a crease in the nose here. And now I'm also going to sculpt out these here to give the nose a little bit more of a little bit stronger profile. And I think the bridge of the nose is okay, although I can probably work that as well. Again, now you want to be careful here because you don't want to create bumps in the nose. You want to create a nice smooth, even parameterization here. That looks pretty good. Okay, well we can certainly play with that, but you get the idea. The geometry's there. It's very easy to modify now. Very easy to shape. Now we still do need to get a nostril. So the easiest way to do a nostril is to just select these polygons at the bottom, and we basically create what's called, we actually do two operations. First thing we do is a bevel. Turn that height to 0. And then crank that in. So this is going to be kind of like the width of the skin at the bottom of the nose. Now girls usually have smaller nostrils, so I'm going to go ahead and move those in just a little bit. And then, okay. And then if we want, then we can do an extrude. Again, I'm pressing this button here so we can get the settings. And then just move that in just a bit. And we've got a bit of a nostril here. Now again, that can be sculpted. We can see how that's a little harsh. We can probably bring it down. There's probably less opening at the tip of the nose. Most people. So again, we can just move these down a little bit. And again, I've got this little detail here. I've got this kind of hidden quad here. And if I want, I can just kind of make it more of a transition between the two surfaces. I can push that back just a little bit, and it'll just blend right in. So probably a little bit less here. I'll make it a little bit rounder maybe. And again, this is all up to your own, what your character requires. Round this off a little bit. There. And you can probably still work with it as you go. So that's basically the nose. Not too bad. Well, you can continue to work on that. And let's go on to the mouth, and that'll be the last of our little detailing here.